This is Kali Ma from Sonic Zen, and I'm here at the Anand Ashram, the haven for spiritual travellers on the island of the gods, Bali, with Swami Krishna Anand. And we're about to give you meditation 24/7, part 3. This might get to be a very lengthy amount of sessions. The last session we were talking about withdrawing the senses in meditation, and now the Swami is going to give us some ideas on how we actually can learn to withdraw our senses.
Yeah, it's this is where actually music comes into plays its role, very important role, because music, spatial music like sitar or guitar, any string music, harp for instance, it can actually pull you from your body consciousness and takes you to higher consciousness. In this case, first of all, it takes you to mental consciousness. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough to begin with, because then from there you can go higher. From there you can use your reasoning. So a lot of people who are very intellectual in India, for instance, they are all very much into sitar, knowing not why they are into sitar, but they are very intellectuals. And most of the sitar players, like Ravi Shankar, who just died, he was a very intelligent man. I met him, and very intelligent man. He was not just a musician, but a very intelligent man, meditative. So this is where another faculty in our being, which is called Vijnanmaya Kosha, or intelligence, the inherent intelligence, not intellectuality, but the intelligence that we are born with, that is being accessed from that music. So this is where music can play a very important role. I can withdraw from my body consciousness, from my mental consciousness, and get into Vijnanmaya Kosha, that is intelligence, and there the reasoning happens. Okay, all these things happening, they're not permanent. Of course, we know all those things. We have read about all those things. But why is it that it's only at a certain point of time that things are more understandable, things are more appealing, or we can make a meaning out of it, we can find a meaning out of it. So at that point, then we can reason it out, and we can actually decide. We can only decide for ourselves that, okay, I'm not going to be affected. I refuse to be affected by things going outside. I'm going through an experience, you know what this is. And this is what I'm trying to do. And every time I get disturbed with all kind of things happening. And then I try to withdraw myself. I use some music. I try to withdraw myself. And at one point, it becomes very natural. Then you don't need music anymore. You can actually withdraw instantly. But before that happens, music can help you.
So, music will help you to withdraw the senses. But first of all, people have to actually realise they even have these senses, don't they?
Yes.
Because so many people think that this basic black and white blob of some substance is who they are.
Yeah, this is where we are. What we are confronted with is most of the people coming to ashram, also sometimes the new people, they have no idea of any higher reality. So they feel that the body, the senses, what they are. So they identify themselves fully with that thing. But I would admit I have no idea. I have no idea to make them withdraw, unless, of course, yoga and other exercises, this slowly and very slowly but very surely it can shift their awareness, shift the level of their consciousness. It takes time. It takes time for a person who is really believing that body is all in all to withdraw from that kind of consciousness.
Do you feel that people are at different levels of karmic incarnations as well?
I do believe in that, although I also believe that if we want to work on ourselves, then one lifetime is enough, because...
let's hope.
Yeah. I feel that this is being a human being, taking birth as a human being, this is the only period of time when we are reincarnating over and over as human being. I firmly believe that as animals we did not reincarnate. As a dog, I did not reincarnate as a dog for a few times. It was just enough to be a dog one time. Or
so you sniffed enough bums in one life.
But as a human being, we are, we are taking birth over and over again.
Maybe Maybe that is one lifetime, though.
Yes, it can be. You can consider that, yeah. Well, if you come to that, as you were saying some time back, that past, present, everything is one continuity, then yes, this is just one story.
Yes.
With different episodes, maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure that you've had many experiences like this, but when I was quite young, when my children were really small, I taught yoga in the women's prison, which is very difficult.
Right.
So much, government stuff to get through. There. It was a lot of backwash. I'm sure it's changed since then. And I was with some really hardcore prisoners. One of them was in there, and she was a partner to a serial rapist. It was huge. And most of the other women that I was teaching were pretty heavy-duty heroin users, but of course they weren't using heroin. Well, not that I know of in prison. And it was so beautiful for me because they really got it so quickly. And even the woman who had committed these heinous acts said if she'd only known about yoga and meditation, her life would have been so different. When she got it, you can see them get it just one day after a few weeks, just sitting there with tears pouring down their face. It's really lovely,
I think this is the setting. The prison setting must have triggered that consciousness also, when you have nothing to look forward to, and then you have no temptations from outside, and you are getting meditation, yoga at that point. I think that helps a lot. In the olden days, when you want to learn yoga or meditation, you are supposed to live in the ashram. You are supposed to withdraw from your families,
or
your
cave.
town, a cave, and spend. But it helps. It helps a lot. And there used to be this tradition, both in Sufis and also among the yogis, to spend at least 40 days in solitude. You withdraw from your family, withdraw from everything, and 40 days your diet is changed, everything is changed, and then it happens. Is
that the amount of time that was spent in the desert? What was that?
Yes,
was that 40 days?
Yes, and also it's also another thing which is very important is in the embryo, something is forming at the end of the 40 days. When we are in the womb. Something, I think the mind or the brain or something, but something, it's connected with, medically it's connected with
it's quite interesting because in the embryo they say the first thing that forms is the ear.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, beautiful.
And here we're talking about the vibrations, about sound.
Right.
And so the fetus is listening to the sounds of the mother. And they say the sounds of the mother are the same as the sounds of the earth when they've recorded the sounds of the earth out in the universe, and the sounds of the mother and the sounds of the earth all vibrate to Om.
True.
It's so beautiful, isn't it?
And there used to be this tradition in the olden days that pregnant women, she would be relieved from so many household chores, and she would be given certain training and all that, because that is affecting the child she's conceiving.
Yes, I also saw recently that is it called cymosomatics, when they put the sand or powder on musical instruments?
I've heard that, yes. And
when they do Om, it made the yantra. Perfect. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
There was a documentary available. I used to have it. I don't remember. It's an old finding, and this is interesting. And actually, somebody was doing it himself, with a small pipe in a room which is soundproof and all that. You can really make it, just by chanting Om, and the scent forms itself.
Yeah. So I wonder, when the ancients came up with the Om sign or all these things, if it was just that they were picking up the energy from the universe, or had they experimented and found these things for themselves back there, or was it planted there from an alien race or something? How do we know?
Oh, well, not even alien. I mean, our world, this planet, I firmly believe that we have been destroyed so many times, and we have been reborn so many times. So many civilizations have come to pass, and
start back at the beginning again each time.
Each time, and so we are actually.
So it's not just us having the recurring lives; it's the planet that we're on is incarnating over and over again.
Yes. I mean, if you see the movies made by Eric von Däniken, we used to laugh at him, but you can imagine in Pakistan, for instance, Mohenjo-daro, you have roads which are as wide as 9 meters, 10 meters, 11 meters. What did you use those roads for? There should be something, and now. In the olden days, 1930s, when they found these ruins, they thought, well, if they were so much civilized, we didn't find any cables there. But we are reaching a point where we don't need cables anymore.
Yes, exactly.
Everything is cellular, everything is radio, so you don't need cables.
Our minds are so minute to think that we can possibly ever begin to understand.
Right.
And, when you see all the pictures or how they are pictured, the images of deities and gods, how do we know that wasn't really another race of beings that just existed before us?
Yeah, I mean, you go to Borobudur here. You have been to Borobudur? You see the staircase, the stairs, they're so high, There should be some people who are much, much taller than the present height.
Oh, yeah, but you can say that in Bali too.
In Bali too. They're used to those kind of heights, so they keep building those.
So now we've really gone off into this incredible tangent.
Yeah.
So we were talking about withdrawing the senses, and then how do people even know, how do you get the awareness through to people that they have these senses? But it's just time, and change doesn't have to be something that takes a long time. It can be instantaneous. You're saying if they have the practice, all of a sudden, just one day, a switch goes on.
Yes, it is like, you're hammering something, you're hammering a stone for 99 times, and at the 100th struck, it is broken, it falls apart. So it's all like boiling water. Up to 99 degrees, it doesn't happen anything. But at the 100th degree, it evaporates. So change, I think, is both. It's happening instantly, but there are certain steps that is leading us to that change, to that instant change.
And so what we're really saying here is then, even if you are sitting there scratching your nose and thinking, how much longer I have to sit here, that sooner or later, something is going to give.
Yes. Because whatever we do, there is some karmic law at work there. Even when you're sitting in silence, there's some karmic law at work.
How many people are afraid of silence?
Exactly. This is what my guru used to say. Differentiate between loneliness and aloneness.
I just did this. It wasn't very long. I always find the retreats are very long, and I have periods of time where people have to be silent. They just can't do it.
True.
They'll find any excuse not to be silent.
Not to be silent,
it's something terrible being enforced upon them.
Yes. Oh, I find the same thing here. And they have this notion, they have this belief here that if you are totally silent, then an evil spirit can come and possess you.
Oh, they like quiet people, do they?
So a lot of people, a lot of religious groups, they have this story going around that if you meditate, you are being possessed, so don't meditate.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it in the Hindus here?
No, among the Islamists mostly. There's certain sects in Islam. They say that you are silent and you are being taken over by devils, so meditation is from devil.
Oh, goodness. Now I really lost where I was up to. Maybe
they're withdrawing from the senses.
Withdrawing from the senses. Maybe we'll just call it an end now.
Yes.
And we'll come to part 4.
Part 4.
Thank you.
Thank you.